Newcastle's missing girls from 1979. The suspect. Last month, which was November 2019, my interest was raised by media reports that police have a suspect in the disappearance of two teenage girls from the Newcastle area in 1979.
40 long years. Today, a major new lead with a possible suspect on the Gold Coast. Police releasing an image of a car, hoping it will jog someone's memory after teenagers Robin Hickey and Amanda Robinson disappeared in 1979, most likely murdered.
I clearly remember the disappearance of these girls at the time, and some of my school friends were among the last people to see one of the girls before she disappeared. So I decided to make a series of videos in relation to their disappearances and that of other girls and young women at the time. In this video, I will discuss the suspect that they now have and some details of a 1980 incident that led to him being charged but acquitted of attempted rape and sexual assault. My second video will be about the disappearances of the two girls in 1979, including what I recall my school friends saying at the time. In my third video, I will talk about the disappearances of 4 other teenage girls and young women from the Newcastle area during late 1978 and 1979. In the final video I have planned at this stage, I will discuss a 1998 theory that links the 3 young women who disappeared in 1978 to a young woman who was murdered several years later. Her murderer, now dead, has since been identified, and I will also talk about him. Now, the media says the current suspect in the disappearances of Robin Hickey and Amanda Robinson is a Gold Coast businessman, but they can't legally say who he is, as he is currently going through court hearings regarding accusations of sexual assault, including the rape of women he met online. Though with a little online research, I was able to find out who he was within half an hour. I also found out a bit of info about his background and even some photos of him. There were even reports from a few years ago stating how he was such a highly respected person in his industry. But just like the media, it's probably best I say nothing more about who he is until it is legal to do so. Though I will say I have never heard of him before, but I have heard of at least one business where he has held senior management positions, and I suspect most Australians would have heard of this particular business as well. What is interesting, though, is that he was acquitted of an attempted rape and sexual assault charge that was alleged to have occurred in Newcastle on the 27th of March 1980. This was less than a year after the disappearance of the 2 girls whose disappearances are currently being investigated. At the time of this alleged offence, he was 18 years old and lived at Belmont, not far from where one of the girls was last seen. In 1980, he was accused of picking up an 18-year-old woman at Hamilton South who was hitchhiking home to Merriweather. The prosecution claimed that he said, "You got in with the wrong one this time, baby." He denied her request to be let out and drove to a dirt track at Glenrock Lagoon, where he removed her clothes and attempted to rape her. Another vehicle then drove up, and the woman ran naked from his car to that vehicle, and he drove off with her clothes still in his car. His version of the story was that They began to kiss and fondle before moving from the front to the back of the vehicle. They had taken off each other's clothes before she jumped out. He denied that he had sexual intercourse with her and that she'd changed her mind before he had a chance. He said he panicked when she jumped naked from his car and yelled that she had been raped as she ran to another car that had pulled up, and he just drove straight home. He also denied saying she had got in with the wrong one this time, baby. So, who do you believe? I cannot say he was guilty or innocent, though it seems unusual that someone would run naked to another stranger's car unless they felt some sort of threat. But in the end, it seems the jury only had her word against his word as to what happened in his car. I guess the jury had to be certain beyond reasonable doubt, and they decided they weren't that certain and acquitted him. Doesn't mean they thought he was innocent, it just means they had reasonable doubt, as they should only decide he is guilty if they are overwhelmingly convinced he is. This is because it is seen as more important to avoid the risk of convicting innocent people than the risk of guilty people not being convicted. I assume the current police investigation is going on more than this incident to consider him a suspect. In connection with this, they are seeking information on a mid-1970s green Torana in the area at the time of the disappearances. This vehicle may have also been travelling to and from Queensland. In the second video in this series, I will discuss the disappearances of Robin Hickey and Amanda Robinson. If I have already uploaded this video, you can click on the link at the end of this video or in the description below. Otherwise, subscribe to my channel and you will be notified as soon as I upload it. I'll end by saying to contact police if you have any information that may help them in regards to this green Torana that they are looking for, or the disappearances of Robin Hickey, Amanda Robinson, or any other disappearances. Contact details are also in the description below. I'm David A. Elliott. Try to have a good one and see you around like a rissole.